Yes, sir. That's our boy, Aiden Hutchinson, the man that we belovedly who fell to us in the draft last year. It works perfectly. We're doing a draft episode right now. I guess not right now, but in the next few minutes. But
Right now,
yeah, I'm amped, man. I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
let's go.
But we have some news and notes, some draft talk. But of course, boys, we're looking at defensive linemen, edge rushers again. We got Aiden Hutchinson, the first, 6 picks, I guess, if you want to say. Pick number 2 last year, pick 6 this year. So if we get another Aiden Hutchinson or even another, just big boy defensive lineman, oh my goodness, I am getting excited.
That's what we need. We need to keep filling the trenches. Keep filling them trenches. You know what I mean?
Today we get to be Brad Holmes and fill those trenches.
Oh, we personally will fill every trench. All right, come on, guys. Let's go. What are we doing here? I'm trying to tweet our show out, guys.
Nick and Julius.
Damn it, Adam's mom's on here. Keep it G-rated.
No, but before we get into this draft talk, there's a little news and notes that has happened. It seems like the Lions, we've had this snowball effect. Each week there's been like one little piece of information. It started out with the free agency, which was awesome, then dialed down a bit, and now Marvin Jones returning to the Detroit Lions on a 1-year deal worth up to $5 million. Also, we forgot to bust out the Lions flag. So
me and Julius had him going.
Okay, I was engaged in this Aiden Hutchinson video.
I understand the Tigers haven't won yet this year, but tonight it's happening live as we're playing, or as we're recording. They're playing. We're gonna get our first win of the season, and then we probably won't lose again. So it's gonna be great. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
Eat them up, Tigers!
Go Tigers!
Oh, that was risky. So I just caught it. My laptop mic was on, and I was like, oh crap, I gotta switch this to my mic. And I was hoping I wouldn't be caught on a mute in between. So I was like, oh, come on, switch.
The show is very early, Adam. We have plenty of time for you to mute yourself.
But what do you guys think of Marvin Jones? I mean, my first impression was, okay, Brad Holmes kind of not new. We lost on DJ Chark, obviously, went to the Panthers. And now our wide receiver 3 is I compared it to, I said to you guys, we made a super 3 to make a 1. And by that, I mean, we put together this 3-headed dragon of Khalif Raymond, Josh Reynolds, and now Marvin Jones. So if you get those 3 guys together, I feel not as good as I would if we had Chark at the 3, but I feel pretty good and okay that one of those 3 will probably be able to step up most of the way down the line. Granted, 2 of those guys could fall off week by week 4. So it is interesting, but the biggest thing to me is I do think the Lions are going to take a wide receiver in this draft. This was another small signing. Jameson is basically a rookie coming in, so you can't give make it that he's going to be the locked and loaded wide receiver 2. Throw him in there. So interesting. Julius, got any thoughts on this?
I'm glad to have Marvin Jones back. I believe he still has a little bit left in the tank, and he loved playing here in Detroit. It's just great to see the trend of former Detroit Lions signing back with the team, something that's never happened in my lifetime as a Detroit Lions fan. So it's great to see that. And I also agree that a trifecta of Raymond, Reynolds, and Jones can circumvent the loss of Chark. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions add 2 in the draft. So I still feel pretty good about the wide receiver room. It all comes down to Jameson Williams, breakout year, sophomore breakout year. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, we're bringing Marvin Jones back. Look, I love Marvin Jones. I think he is awesome. I truly do. I love his character, his personality, what he brings, and the style that he brings, I guess. I love it. I believe his wife opened up a baking shop in Michigan, and that's still going on today. That was back when he first played. So I think it's awesome that we're bringing all these Lions back. It really is. But Marvin Jones does not move the needle. To me, Marvin Jones will not be outplaying Khalif Raymond. He's a wide receiver 5 on our team right now. This is depth. This is good depth. But this is not the Marvin Jones that I think we're like used to. I think we're a little bit slowed. I don't want to say a skeleton of himself. And I hope that he comes out and just proves me so wrong. I hope he's just like, this dude's an idiot. Look at me. I'm going to catch 12 touchdowns. Like, I truly hope that. But I just don't think that it will happen. And I think we didn't really do anything. We added some wide receiver depth. It's just a name that we know and love. So it seems a little bit bigger than it truly is. It's a wide receiver 5 to 6 signing. I mean, is Cephas still on the team? I think he is. And if he is, he probably should and has a better connection with Goff and should start over Marvin Jones. I mean, honestly.
I believe Quintez Cephas had an injury waiver, but I'm not certain.
Okay.
But
so then, yeah, we had depth.
He's expensive wide receiver 5 because we give him about $3.5 million guaranteed, if I'm not mistaken.
So was it the smart idea? You think Marvin Jones is going to come out and be like exceptionally better than someone we draft in the 6th round? Because the 6th round receiver isn't going to be great by any means. I think it's a fair question. Like, is Marvin Jones going to be exceptionally better?
I would say yes.
Okay.
But then I would say, but a Brad Holmes 5th or 6th rounder.
I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown, it took a minute for him to get going his rookie season. We can't rely on a mid-round receiver pick as our wide receiver 3 goes.
If Marvin Jones gets half of the stats that Amon-Ra St. Brown had in his rookie year, then I'll be shocked. I'll be straight up shocked. Like, Amon-Ra finished with 900 his rookie year, I think. If Marvin gets over 400 yards this year, I'm going to be happy. I love it. And I love Marvin Jones. He makes amazing catches. The refs screwed him out of one of the best catches I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I love the guy. I truly love him. And I want him to be in Detroit. I love it. But to me, the signing is not moving the needle.
Yeah. It's not a needle mover. I feel like this is more of a hey, if he's a good wide receiver, then that's nice. But we lost Jamal Williams, and Marvin Jones knows how to bring a locker room together. And that's what I do feel like. I think he's that veteran presence that we brought in.
That's the argument I would have used against myself on if he would have been exceptionally better than a 6th-round receiver. Probably not statistically, but mentally in the locker room, he has.
And Cephas, he was placed on the IR last year early on, and he's on his last year of his rookie deal. So
he's still here.
Interesting.
Someone's got to get cut out of these boys.
I know. Someone's.
I think gonna be Cephas, I guess.
He could be the next Ryan Broyles.
What?
He might be the next Ryan Broyles.
Yeah.
No, that's a bad comparison because Broyles went off the. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of Titus Young. Yeah, probably the next Ryan Broyles. Yeah. No, it's a good comparison.
Couldn't stay healthy, showed flashes.
Right. I always loved Ryan Broyles because I read an article when he first came in that he took all of his money that he made in the NFL, which wasn't too much, but it was a good amount. He made a good amount going to the NFL. Put it all aside and took $45,000 out every year and just was living off a $45,000 salary every year and put everything else aside. And I was like, that's super awesome. I love Ryan Broyles. At first, I thought you meant Titus Young, and I was like, that's a terrible comparison.
Oh, no. There's not many that compare to Titus Young.
Another free agent we did sign that some other teams wanted, Dave Montgomery. It appears the Vikings and the Bears both wanted to re-sign or sign him. So it's nice that not just interest from the NFC, but interest from the NFC North. So you're thinking, oh, Vikings, were you guys trying to pull this old rope-a-dope, steal a NFC North running back to upgrade your team? I don't think so. Also, for you fantasy owners, interesting that they were in on Montgomery. Dalvin Cook, also another interesting. Wouldn't be surprised if Cook finds his way out. So that's a whole different story. But back to Montgomery, it's nice that we're like, the Lions are one step ahead. And in reality, it was, not in reality. The last couple of years in reality, it was, the Lions were in contention for so-and-so, and then they signed elsewhere. So it's nice.
It is nice. This is one of the best signings. I think this is the best signing. Cam Sutton, everyone would say. I would say that's what everyone would agree to say that is probably the best signing so far. David Montgomery is so sneaky. If we think Jamal Williams is good, If we thought 18 touchdowns, man, I'm setting the bar for old Demon at like 24 touchdowns. I want Sean Alexander and LaDainian Tomlinson's touchdown records in the rear view mirror because Demon is that good. And Jamal is really good. Sure. Again, we talked about this a few months ago, or like at least I did. I said it's really hard to score 18 touchdowns in the NFL, no matter who you are. It doesn't matter if 12 of them came within 2 yards or whatever, 14 of them. It's really hard to do that. I believe David Montgomery can do that, and I'm very excited for it. I just want him to be a north and south runner. I love the David Montgomery signing, and I'll say it every week.
I love it too. I knew that we got to upgrade when we signed David Montgomery at running back, and for the contract we signed him compared to what we offered Jamal Williams, Brad Holmes did very well, and I also expect a high touchdown output by David Montgomery next year based on Jamal Williams' performance this year. And I think our O-line and our run game is only going to get better.
Now, I have a question for you boys. Week 1, who is the starter on the depth chart? Do you think they give it to Montgomery outright, or do you think they say, you know what, Swift, when you're healthy, you're a top 10 running back and you deserve it?
He's a scat back. DeAndre Swift is a scat back. He's a third down back. He can pick up a good pass block. He can take a screen 40 yards, but he's not durable enough to give enough carries to call a number 1 back. So I give it to David Montgomery, if anything.
I concur, but it's crazy to think that just, I don't know, 5 months ago, we were sitting here like, DeAndre Swift's going to get 1,200 yards, 2,000 combined yards. Like, we were just like, Swift is the fucking man. Why don't we? And I swear to God, if we had a producer and someone who had the time to go back and listen to every episode we ever did, I bet we could take at least 20 minutes of us, just the words saying, why don't we give him more touches?
Yeah.
Just that. 20 minutes of all of us. Why don't we give him more touches? Why don't we give him more touches?
I do think, sorry to cut you off, Nick, but I do think Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell were like, you know what? A 100% DeAndre Swift for 6 games is, or not, I'm sorry, DeAndre Swift getting less carries for, I don't know what I was trying to say at the beginning, but DeAndre Swift getting less carries for the full season is better than him getting 100% of the carries for like 6 games. So DeAndre Swift getting, 8 to 10 carries for 14 games as opposed to 25 to 30 for 6. I think Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell were like, you know what? We might have to go this route. And honestly, spin zone, DeAndre Swift's the best RB2 in the NFL. if this, is to
best case scenario, DeAndre Swift has like a 2019 Alvin Kamara season with like 1,500 all-purpose and just
I like that
running Penei Sewell and Frank Ragnow blowing up screens, and that's best case for Swift.
That's the best case for the Lions. That's the best case for everybody. That's good stuff right there. Yeah, D-Mont gonna rush for over 1,000 yards. He's never rushed for less than 800 yards. 4 years with Chicago. 3 of those years were terrible teams. 1 year, really good team. Montgomery is very good. It's scary to get running backs on their second contract. Just call it what it is, boys. We all know that. It's more precedent now. That running backs again are just becoming a dime a dozen to a point where like getting a running back on the second contract, to me, it's a 50-50 shot. Do I think David Montgomery stays healthy all year? God, I'm hoping so. But you're getting a guy who's young still, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your age. You can be 30, you could be 25. It matters on how many carries you've had in your life. You got so much carries in your life, an NFL running back does. That's just
and he has a lot for 4 years.
Has a lot, and they rode him and then let him go because they know they knew they rode him, and they could see they had some good running backs in the farm system coming up, but it's just a little bit like. I sit here and I'll say, Dave, and when we do our over-unders this year, I'll probably put Montgomery at 1,000 and I'll probably take the over. But it's nerve-wracking to me. It really is. Just something to think about.
And then one last little tidbit on Monty is, a lot of people may be thinking, oh my gosh, Jamal Williams, 18 touchdowns. That's amazing. Well, if Montgomery gets, 13 touchdowns rushing and 4 receiving, he could, that's essentially, 17 touchdowns, and it would look so much more different than what Jamal Williams did, because all of his were just like running, rushing. You know, you kind of knew it was coming. So it's gonna be interesting to see Goff have, you know, 2 pass catching running backs and even 3 in Craig Reynolds, because you know he's not bad either.
No, yeah, absolutely. It'll be fun. I can't wait. The Jared Goff is only as good as his running backs are. So
yeah, that's about right. That's well, if we're gonna, I guess I was trying to segue this into our mock draft, but let's just head into it. Mock draft a palooza is what's about to happen. Julius, you want to fire it up and we can just head on from the pick 6 spot. I will start breaking down, you know, 6, 18, et cetera, and we'll just kind of go from there. See if I can make this screen a little bit bigger. There we go. All right. We're on PFFs. Very fancy. I like it, Julius. And
get your pinky up.
So yeah, the Panthers are on the clock. I'm gonna go ahead and start it up. We're not trading up, boys. That's what we're.
And yeah, I figured.
But I love the idea of it.
Love the idea, but I don't have the gonads. Maybe Brad Holmes does.
No. Yep. Right.
Let's get it going.
Let's get it on. CJ Stroud, Will Levis, Jalen Carter, Bryce Young, Tyree Wilson, Will Anderson is on the clock. It would be great that happened.
I know. So we had the situation we did this exact same situation last year. I forget who it was, where we almost just like I think it was the Jaguars were like planning on taking Hutchinson. So we plan on, all right, we'll just give the Jaguars Hutchinson, or didn't it go something like that? Or
it was also easier to talk if we didn't have Hutchinson. Yeah. So are we trying to redo?
Is Will Anderson going to be there? You know, at 6.
Are we trying to restart it, or are we just going to run with Will Anderson? Because that's my pick if we're trying to draft here.
Restart.
I don't know. Let's restart it and see if we get a kind of a better outcome. Because God knows Will Anderson's just not going to be there at 6.
Yeah, I agree.
I also bet if you go back to our old podcast from last year, there's like me saying, God knows Aiden Hutchinson's not going to be there at 2. So why would we even? Maybe I'm just trying to keep it going. You know what I mean?
I will say Will Anderson is minus 1,000 to be the first defender taken off the board. So I don't think Hutch ever got that high. But if it does go Will Anderson again, might just have to run.
I mean, if it does, then that's just fate, and that's Lord telling us time to take Will Anderson. But let's just give it one more chance here. Drum roll. See what happens. This is gonna be like all the big ones. Bryce Young. All right,
they almost did it, but that's
realistic. That's absolutely realistic. Absolutely.
So this is actually really interesting because like this is the ultimate like Lions fan. Like, ooh, what do we do here? You got Anthony Richardson on the board. You got Devin Witherspoon, Christian Gonzalez, Tyree Wilson still. Probably don't need to go farther than that.
No.
Ultimately,
those top 3.
Let's talk about it, boys.
Maybe number 10.
If Anthony Richardson's there, are you guys how confident on a scale of 1 to 10? Is that like a 5, a 6, a 3? Nick, I know you're down like a 2, 3, but
okay, so I'll start this. I'm looking at my face in this. I look really white with these lights. I need some tanning over here. God damn, I'm a ghost over here. All right. I would not take Anthony Richardson. We just got to be all in on Goff. I just truly believe that this is not the time to take a quarterback. I don't know. I can see taking a quarterback. When are we going to have another opportunity? But Richardson really isn't like he doesn't blow my mind when I watch him. He just doesn't. Could he be really good in the NFL? Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and say no. But I don't think Brad Holmes drafts a quarterback. Well, any trades? Anyone trying to come up with any trades or anything? Any teams?
I mean, we can look at Atlanta, Vegas, Tennessee. If we could stay put, my pick would be Tyree Wilson. At this point, with Will Anderson gone.
Now, here's a question, boys.
Calvin Johnson.
Will Anderson slides to 5. and Seattle's, open up the trade because Will Anderson and Anthony Richardson are on the board at 5. Would you guys be opposed? I mean, we can't do it now, but what would your thoughts be about trading up? Let's get our boy right now.
We talked about it.
I'll trade up to 3 to get old Willie. You know what I mean? I ain't scared. I'll definitely move up to 5. My God. But if he does go 5 and we don't trade up, I would trade back. I would love that Brad Holmes traded back right now to 7 or 8 to Las Vegas to go get Anthony Richardson or Atlanta so they can get Richardson. That's ideal because then Tyree maybe even still there at 7 and he just gained a little bit of extra capital.
You want to vote for a trade down?
No trades in here. No trades. I'm just saying that would be nice.
If we were to here's my I don't know why I've just been this is what I think is going to happen in the draft. You're going to flip out Will Levis with Anthony Richardson and or Tyree Wilson. If Tyree Wilson goes at number 4 and you have Will Levis and Anthony Richardson, no one calling, and you're down to pretty much cornerback or quarterback, what do you do then?
I would take the quarterback then. I wouldn't.
Okay.
I'm not into drafting cornerbacks in the top 5. Okay, we're at 6, so it's a little bit different, but it's a little too close for me. It's like if I can trade back to 8 or 9 and get a corner, sure. But at 6, dude, if you like what the scenario you just laid out, fuck yeah, just give me Anthony Richardson. Let's just fucking play the game. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? There's no reason to. But if you have someone like Tyree Wilson on the board, who's been my draft crush since October, who can come in and make an immediate impact on our defensive line rotation, we know that Brad Holmes loves to work through the trenches in the draft and on the field. We know Dan Campbell is very similar to that. It will help out all of the secondary and Aaron Glenn coaching the secondary. Tyree Wilson's just a plug and play. He's a monster. He's a freak. The Condor 2.0. That was Max Crosby's nickname because of his wingspan. Now it's freaking Tyree Wilson, longest wingspan in the NFL and in the combine history. So it's just nuts to me. And I've been in love with them since October. And because of that, my gut just tells me I'm also on the Tyree Wilson train right now.
So fun fact, I did not know that combine stat you just shared about his wingspan. That was kind of the deal breaker for me because wingspans on edge rushers are huge. If you could just get your hand on that quarterback, more times than not, you are pulling him down, Or
even just a swat of the ball or your hand up at the line of scrimmage, you know what I mean? An extra inch, maybe tips the ball, deflects it. That's a pick for Kirby right there.
And then a little Vegas odds and updates. The Lions do have the best odds to pick Jalen Carter at plus 300. Next up is the Seahawks at plus 400. And then I forgot to put the team name, but they're plus 600. So not crazy far apart, but the Lions are favored technically to pick him. And then the Lions are also favored to pick a cornerback first at minus 110, and then to pick a defensive lineman first at plus 100.
They just put the Lions are first to draft a quarterback. The Lions are first to draft an edge rusher. God damn, they're just like, who could be first? Probably the Lions. Let's go.
Anthony Richardson went with the next pick to the Raiders.
Interesting.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Devin Witherspoon, 9th to the Bears.
I wouldn't like that just because I wouldn't want to see him in the division.
Bijan went right before us.
Bijan picked before us, right to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's like, Najee's not good enough. Bring me Bijan too.
Christian Gonzalez ends up in Green Bay at pick 15.
I don't like that either. Both our division rivals get good cornerbacks.
So we're at pick 18, guys.
With a lot of fun picks to go. This is where I'm super interested in what you guys
I see Quentin Johnston staring me in the face.
We had an interview with him at the Combine.
Collegiate Cansey,
like him, undersized defensive lineman, but
Brian Branch, I like him a lot.
He's got a motor. He's got a Dan Campbell type motor.
I like Brian Breesy. I like Noah.
Yeah, this is an interesting pick because there's a lot of B class players with A upside, and it's all over. You got wide receivers in there. You got Nolan Smith, tight ends. Hopefully we don't take a tight end. I know there has been some. So, boys, I'm curious if Brad Holmes takes a tight end. You guys good with taking a tight end? Or are you still
I got PTSD in tight end drafting in the first round. Sorry Hawkinson, sorry Brandon Pettigrew, you
Eric
know,
Ebron.
Eric
Eric
Ebron.
Ebron. Like I have PTSD. Do not do it. I'd rather go with James Mitchell and Shane Zylstra and Brock Wright trifecta than draft a tight end in the first round.
Yeah, so tight end class is deep as the fucking Loch Ness. Okay. That's a lake. That's a Scotland reference for us. It's deep, man. It's fucking deep. You can wait to the second round. By pick 48 or 55, when we come back around, Sam Laporta will be there. Maybe Dalton Kincaid falls. Like, there's Michael Mayer could be there. Like, Darnell Washington could be there. The tight end class is so deep. Luke Musgrave could be there. I do not need to be the first team to draft a tight end this year. And golly gee, if we do it at 18, I'll be sad. But here's the thing. You always trust in Brad Holmes. You just do. And if he drafts him,
this guy's Gronk.
I hope so. If he's not, then we're never allowed to draft a tight end again. But I'll like right now we're at that point, but I'll give it to Brad Holmes to like take it one step farther and give us one more tight end in the first round and be like, no. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I agree. Here's the
so let's all give our picks for this and see where we're at.
All right. I'm gonna
come from left field and go with a guy that I had my eye on before free agency. Free agency kind of cooled me off a bit because I'll get to it. But this is a cornerback from Maryland, Deonte Banks. He's an athletic freak, just tested out of the blue and just pretty much everything. Was, I think, top 5 on 40, top 5 on just about every, of the top combine stats. And he's a guy that I feel like could learn very well under Cam Sutton, but then Lions went in and brought in Chauncey and Emmanuel Mosley, but they're on one-year deals, so I would still be okay with this pick. So if the Lions want to go Deonte Banks at pick 18, I wouldn't be opposed.
All right, Deonte Banks, that's pretty good pick. I'm really scared also to add a corner at this spot just because of what we did in free agency, but I wouldn't mind it. However, if I'm looking at this, right, and I see Quentin Johnston, I mentioned him, what I'm saying? Now, do I think that the Marvin Jones, Reynolds, Raymond is sufficient, or do I think Quentin Johnston could be an all-pro wide receiver to go along with Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown? At pick 18, I don't mind taking that chance. So, bring the big guy in, can't have number 81. That's a special number in Detroit, but I'm sure we could find a nice number to put on Quentin Johnston and supplant. Then Marvin Jones, he might be cuttable in the preseason, to be honest, if this happens.
I hope not. I hope we didn't just sign him to cut him. Okay. So I'll pick one of your guys's, but I will also say who I would pick here. And in my opinion, I'm just continuing to buff up that D line, and I would take Khalija Kancey right here. There's just no doubt in my opinion. If we get Tyree Wilson and Khalija Kancey, it's gross. It's disgusting. The poor quarterbacks. I can't wait till Justin Fields tries to run on that. But I won't do that, and I'm going to pick out of your guys's. And I'm going to pick Deonte Banks because he is a fucking freak of nature. Also, I doubt Brad Holmes goes 2 receivers first round back-to-back years. But I think Deonte Banks is a very good cornerback. Yes, we did do a lot for the position in itself, but after next year, Okuda could be gone, Jerry Jacobs could be gone, Mosley could be gone. We don't really have a ton of depth there. Add Deonte Banks, and it'll be awesome.
Deonte Banks is. I kind of like what you did there, Nick. He went the friendly route and said, you know what? No, we're not going to have 3. We got to come to some sort of agreement. So this round, you and Julius, I'll decide between you guys, and then we'll just keep rotating. Julius, you'll decide between me and Nick, so on. So we are on the clock, pick 48. Jalen Hyatt just went off the board. It's getting a little watered down here. We got Antonio Johnson, safety. Thule I can't even pronounce his name. Tuli
Pluto or whatever. Yeah,
He's a
he's
guy
fallen though. He's fallen down. Avoid him, in my opinion. I don't like him.
Avoid. Interesting. He was one of mine. Not this round. Not round.
If you get him in the third round, it's a good pick.
See. I had him in the fourth round in that mock.
Fourth round's great.
So that's what I'm talking about. Some of these players sliding, but ultimately, the Lions have went defensive edge, I guess, and then cornerback and Deonte Banks up at pick 48. Nick, what are you looking to do here? You trying to beef up the defensive lineman? I know you wanted Cleach Cansey, so talk me through the thought process.
Will you put everyone back up on the board, Julius? So, wait, do we have? Oh, we got everyone. I thought I saw you playing around with like.
Yeah, it's all up now. Yeah.
Got you. The positions I'm looking for right here is linebacker, interior defensive lineman, tight end. Those are the three positions that I'm like highlighting right now. Okay. Out of those guys, Luke Musgrave is a great pick. Keanu Benton is a great pick. Dorian Williams is a great pick. We're kind of reaching for those. Diane Henley is also a very good pick. I would wish that Drew Sanders was here. I would wish that Trenton Simpson was here. But neither of those linebackers are available. So I would stick with the linebacker position, and I would probably go with Diane Henley. Add him with Rodrigo. I think they'd be a finesse team that would just be able to be all over the field. But if not him, I do also like Keanu Benton right here. But we can probably wait till the next pick again.
I like it. Julius, are you on the board of going defensive, or are you still trying to get that wide receiver?
Just seeing what the wide receivers that are on the board. Let me add them to here real quick. Like Nate Dale and like Michael Wilson. I'd rather not. That's when we're talking about, why waste that pick. Mm-hmm. I also like Kenyu Bitten right here. I think he's a really good player. I honestly think he's first round value. Dorian Williams for Tulane, I also saw down here. I know he's falling a little bit, but I think he is definitely a talented player that would add value right there. So just looking at the board, I'm gonna go Kenyu Bitten. Was that your pick?
It was my second pick, but I'll go with you, and I like it. Yeah. If Adam vetoes it and says no, then it is what it is. But I'm all right with that pick. I love it.
No, I agree. I was kind of on the defensive train, and we were getting defense either way, Benton or God, draw a blank.
Henley, linebacker.
Henley, yeah. And so I agree. Beef up the defensive line. Good luck, Justin Fields. Good luck, Jordan Love, and Kirk Cousins. Happy retirement going out. So, I like the beefing up the defensive line. Luke Musgrave just went off the board. A couple tight ends went off the board.
Let's talk about our first three picks. We got
Tingley is still there.
Deonte Banks, and we got who did we just get?
Kenyu
Benton. Oh my God, dude. So we went cornerback and 2D linemen. It's great. I love it.
And then we could still get your boy, Dan Henley. So
at this point, as much as I would love to keep beef, grab another linebacker. What do we need a wide receiver for? We can find one in the 5th round, like Amon-Ra St. Brown, or 4th round, whatever he was.
Did someone grab A.T. Perry? Oh, nope, he's still there. Okay. Still might be a little early. Yeah, right. And
Julius is making the pick. So, Adam, you lead us off. Who would you pick at this pick?
Scroll back up a little bit, Julius.
I'll go by position again if you want, but
it's a lot for everyone looking or just listening. We got like Andre Carter, Joe Tittman, Sidney Brown, Nick Herbig, Tuli Tuiapuludu. I don't know how to say that either. Nate Dell is still on the board. Travius Hodges Tomlinson on the boards. I do not know how to say his name. Zach Charbonnet.
That's it.
Look at that. Kind of sounds like what's his name? Charlemagne, whatever that kid is. I don't know.
Charbonnet.
Chardonnay, give me a glass or two. I'll take it. Yeah.
Oh, the Lions draft Chardonnay. We're gonna have to do some.
Dude, dude, if we have a Jameson and a Chardonnay, I'll be a happy camper. That will be for sure. That reminds me of the old commercial where it's like they're trying to draft their fantasy team, and he's like, TJ, who's TJ, who's your mama? And he's talking about TJ Hujmanzada. It's the funniest commercial ever. It might be too old for you, Adam, but it was a great Easter.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. It's one of the like OG, like original fantasy football.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
they don't do it anymore.
That's why I was like, I don't know if you even. Yeah, it was old, but yeah. Anyways, who are you picking?
I kind of like Henley, but yeah, let's go Henley because I have a 5th round wide receiver in mind. Unless Julius, you opposed?
You know, like I said, looking at the board, I like Henley. I haven't looked too much into him, but he's been a late riser.
Let's read what it says about him real quick.
Yeah, let's read. According to PFF, Henley scooted his way to a 4.54 40-yard dash and proved that the former wide receiver athleticism is still there. He's a former wide receiver. While he's on the small side at 225 pounds, possibly a safety, his play strength was rarely a problem on tape.
So he's like, it could be a hybrid. Could be a hybrid defensive player who, that's what I'm saying. So him and Rodrigo's finesse would be a fun tandem, I think, as our 2 linebackers with James Houston on the backer / edge rusher position.
I like Matthew Bergeron out of Syracuse because I'm still thinking about like our offensive line a little bit. You know, it doesn't hurt. You know, add to the riches.
No, it doesn't. Absolutely never a bad thing.
I do like Henley at this pick, and we will continue to fortify the defense through the draft.
I'm down with it. Bring on Henley. That's such a strong defense through the first 4. And now because of that, you can start having fun with some of these later round guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown and stuff like that. You know,
and that's where Brad Holmes is good at. Mm-hmm. This is where Brad Holmes makes his money. So let's make our money here as well.
Right. Let's take his job.
We'll up on that one. All right. Heading into the endish of the 3rd round. Not a whole lot on the board. Jordan Battle, that one sticks out at you. Garrett Williams still up on the board. Darius Rush, Tank Bigsby, Hendon Hooker, if you want to go, sneaky late round quarterback. Christian Smith, Kendre Miller, Tyjae Spears, if you want to get frisky on a running back.
Right, I never mind getting frisky.
Kayshawn Booty. Jalen Reed
getting frisky with booty. Wait a minute, what are we doing here? Come on now, Adam. You're setting me up for that now. Let's go.
Both of these guys are wide receiver wild cards here in the 3rd
yes
round.
My wide receiver long shots are Jalen Reed from Michigan State. I would love to get him at this pick, and also if we don't, we wait till later. Justin Shorter is my other guy, just so we some names to throw out there right now. Who's leading this one off?
I'll start this off.
Okay.
I love this 3rd round board we're looking at here for the Lions. Michael Wilson, wide receiver out of Stanford, big body, shows great control, has some great games. I could see him being better than a 3rd round value. Jordan Battle, I think you mentioned, Adam, doesn't hurt to keep adding to this defense in this secondary. I mentioned I like Dorian Williams, wouldn't mind pairing him with Henley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be a nasty rookie duo right there. And you know what? I like Hendon Hooker. From what I saw from him in Tennessee last year, I think he has the tools to be what we need right now, a good young backup quarterback. So I guess if you put it on a table, I feel like either of these guys can be at our next pick at one. No, they're not. I like Jaden Reed. I'm not going to lie. I never like Michigan State players in the draft. I love Jaden Reed. I think he could be a steal. I'm gonna draft Jaden Reed right here.
Make it 2. I'm on the Jaden Reed train.
Oh no!
Yeah, say it.
What are you about to do? What were you about to do, Adam?
The Red Sea.
I was getting ready to smack one out of left field and go Hendon Hooker.
Ooh, I was thinking about it.
Not a player of need, but yeah,
Look at that PFF grade. Look at that. Look at that. It's just he tore these teams up. Look what he did against Alabama.
The motherfucker is 28 years old. He's Chris Winkie coming out.
I devil's advocate right here. He
39 and a half tomorrow. What?
He could be 25, 29, 53. As long as he's putting up the stats and on that rookie contract, that is what I want. So if we could get, 4 years, 3 years, maybe because, Goff is this year and then so on. And
Hooker's only got a 3-year deal because he's a 3rd-round pick now. So we lose one of those years. Now we got him for a rookie contract for 2 years.
I go Jaden Reed still.
Okay. Yeah. I'm still going to bring up my wide receiver that I wanted to get to later. But
we can draft more wide receivers, man. We're the GMs. We do whatever the fuck we want. I have 6 wide receivers to end this draft.
At this point, it gets luxurious. Okay, this is unknown territory for Lions. It's okay if it feels weird.
And also, we added Kirby Joseph in the 3rd round, Jordan Battle 3rd round safety. Kind of different game styles. Jordan Battle's more like a hard hitting safety as opposed to Kirby Joseph.
Like Deshaun Elliott, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. He'd be a good fill for Deshaun Elliott. And then also, coming from Alabama, obviously coached by Saban. So I think that, might play a little bit into, the locker room mentality chemistry.
He's a high floor safety who is plug and play starter from day one. That's not a bad description.
No, and he's good. Yeah, no, he's really good. They have Alabama has 3 safeties coming out this year. Brian Branch, who is kind of like a slot cornerback. When you draft him, he's not just a safety. He's like a slot corner. Then you have Jordan Battle, who is just a very good safety who can be a plug and play. It would be an awesome pick for us. It really would. And then they got another safety. I can't remember his name right now. But anyways, I think Jaden Reed won this one. So
I agree. Yes, I agree. But Jaden Reed is, but yeah, I don't know how Alabama did not make the playoff with Eli Ricks, Jordan Battle,
Hendon Hooker.
Yeah,
wasn't he the quarterback for Tennessee when they beat him?
Yeah,
he wasn't injured yet.
Yeah, you're right on that.
And then someone else beat him too. I can't remember.
Noel Sewell just went off the board at 120.
Remember when we were thinking like, man, maybe he's a 1st-round pick.
I know.
He was getting mocked in the top 15.
We asked Joey about him, Julius. You weren't here, but we asked Joey Harrington about him. He was like, dude, he's got a motor. And we were like, hey, we like that,
Well, I think he went to Noel Sewell was picked in our mock draft by Cleveland at 111.
Fucking Browns. I kind of forget they're still an organization, to be honest.
Yep. So we're at round 5, pick 152. Ronnie Hickman, safety out of Ohio State. I liked him. He was one of my late round guys. Got picked at the pick before us by guess who? Seattle. The team who stole our playoff spot and also stole the 5th overall pick from us.
Fucking vendetta against them motherfuckers.
We play Seattle this year, and
I want revenge against Seattle for what they.
You better beat them by like 50.
Yo, is Jonah Tavai related to Joseph or
Jelani
Tavai?
Gotta be. Well, Tavai seems like a common Hawaiian or Samoan or whatever that.
I don't know, but
it's gotta be though. Jonah and Jelani, like that's.
It seems like what I
mean. It's possible.
Hold on.
He's from San Diego State. They're about to win the basketball championship. Good for them.
Yep. But we are just, we should all have some favorite guys by now. Everybody out there, and listen, if you're listening to the show right now and you see a pick that you like, go ahead and chime in the comments.
Yeah, please do.
A lot of people on watching right now, and we look for advice from all places. So jump in the comments.
Julius, way to put that out there. Oh, this guy, it's like
I should have put it out there 2 rounds ago, but usually I'm not used to our comment section being so quiet.
Yeah, everyone's just so engulfed by our drafting strategy.
Are they going to get him? Are they going to get Hooker?
How could they do that? They're passing on Hooker. Right here, by the way, guys, just some guys that I love throw out right now. Keaton Mitchell is a great running back. It'd be fun to add depth to that position. In my opinion, but we probably should just be looking for offensive line. It seems like offensive line or tight end are the two positions we really should be focused on in this pick. And that's my opinion. Davis Allen from Clemson right there. I don't see what else we have out there.
So I just went down a little mini rabbit hole here, and it is Joe Tavai is Jelani Tavai's brother. And there's like 5 brothers, and they're all like standout players. And the third brother is so there's 2 in high school right now. Jelani, obviously NFL. The other dude come the NFL. And then this third dude is, they said, projected a 3rd round pick in 2024. So I'm like, dang, this family's just got a lot of, like mid talent, like we couldn't have got one super elite Jelani Tavai.
That's terrible. It's better than it's pretty elite just to make it to the NFL as well.
But yes, that is very true. That's some good parenting right there, I will say.
Yeah.
But yes, you're scrolling right over my guy, Bryce Ford Wheaton, big body wide receiver from West Virginia. I think he's a guy that, could be a solid filler for DJ Chark, could learn under Marvin Jones, kind of, red zone threat receiver as well. And also, my favorite thing about this guy, he wears the number 0. So he could be the number 0 for the Lions, which would absolutely be super cool. And that isn't one of the bigger reasons why I like this dude. He is a solid player. And obviously, the Big 12, some good competition there playing against Oklahoma, Texas, and all those big boys as well. But, Nick, what do you think of the 5th round?
5th round.
You're talking offensive lineman, tight end, but is there anyone you're set in stone on?
No, not particularly of these names. I saw Jackson was down there. I like some of these guys, but the 5th round becomes such a crapshoot. I almost don't want to spend it on an offensive lineman just because I feel like Brad can hit, and I don't need him to hit on an offensive lineman in the 5th round. I like Bryce Ford Wheaton. I like him, and I wouldn't mind drafting a 2nd wide receiver. Screw it. What are we doing here? If not, I would take a guard. I'd probably take Chandler Zavala, or I saw Jackson. I can't remember his last name, but someone I was looking at. Go. Oh, right there, Jackson Kirkland. That was his name. Kirkland. Yes. I like any of those guys. A guard, 2 guards, pretty safe. But screw that. I'm all right with Bryce Ford Wheaton too.
I wouldn't mind. I still wouldn't mind a quarterback, Jake Hayner or Stetson Bennett. You know what I'm saying? I'm just so scared to have Jared Goff get injured next year. And
what's the difference of Stetson Bennett and Nate Sudfeld? Like,
you're right, and I'm not that high on Stetson Bennett. I also see Aiden O'Connell, but I'm worried that anytime I see a Purdue quarterback, I think of
Drew Brees.
No, not. I wish. Who's the other Purdue quarterback that we had undrafted here for a couple years and was on Hard Knocks and back?
I don't know. You're talking about like one of the boys that we had. Oh my God, I can't remember their names. The 2 guys that we just had a couple years ago. Jeff Driscoll and
Are we forgetting the Purdue's quarterback name? What was his goddamn name?
You talking about the guy who's with Minnesota right now?
Yeah. What do you mean the guy?
David Blau?
David Blau.
Yeah. I came with Jeff Driscoll. Hey, that was something.
Anytime I see a Purdue quarterback, I get kind of worried. But honestly, I'm good with Keaton Mitchell because I think he's pretty dynamic. If DeAndre Swift gets injured,
I like Keaton Mitchell a lot. Actually, I do like him.
He's a nice little DeAndre Swift kind of clone. But if you guys want to go double receiver, I'm cool with that because, like I said, this is luxury, guys. This is luxury. We don't have to, I'm cool with it. Jalen,
I'm cool with it. Let's do it.
Pick.
Bryce Ford Wheaton, written down. 2 wide receivers, 4 defense, 2 wide receiver. We're crazy, and I love it.
Keaton Mitchell is still on the board. Chandler Zavala is still on the board. I like Jose Ramirez from Eastern Michigan. I don't know if you guys want a double edge, but
you can never go wrong with that either. We do have a lot of edge rushers already on our team, though.
Was he a Tigers player, Jose Ramirez?
Well, you might be thinking. I don't know. There's been
There's probably a few Jose Ramirez in the MLB. So, but I think the only Jose Ramirez I can think of was Cleveland Indian. guardian or whatever they want to call
Or
it.
was it Rodriguez? Was our pitcher Jose Rodriguez?
We had a Jose Iglesias. We had like a Francisco Rodriguez.
I'm getting the names mixed up. It was Francisco Rodriguez and Jose Iglesias that combined.
We have a Miguel Cabrera. I don't know if you know about him. He's pretty good. This is last year. Go Tigers.
Miggy's the legend. So,
are we winning? Someone check their phone. Are we winning? 16.
I was looking right now. Oh, 2-0.
Tigers?
Yeah.
What inning is it?
We're winning the World Series,
It's
boys.
the top of the or bottom of the third.
Javi Baez, man, he had one hit on opening day, and I was like, he's winning MVP. You can't
pick 183, boys. What are we thinking?
We got 2 picks left. We got 10 minutes. All right, let's kill these. For me, I like Keaton Mitchell here at running back, but we could probably just get a running back later. I'll go with Chandler Zavala.
I like that. Beef up, the guard position. Vaitai is still in, purgatory. I say situation's a little bit murky. We did
restructured his contract.
We did restructure,
and the motherfucker can drink High Life like no other. So we know he good.
But we voided his 2024 year, I believe. So he's still him and Glasgow are only here for this year, and Jonah Jackson, as I think. He's only got maybe 1-2 more years left on his rookie deal.
We have to pay him. We have to pay him. And Penne. And Taylor Decker. And Frank Ragnow.
And that's also why I think a lot of people are like, oh, Lions have, the third most cap space. What are we going to do? Well, we might just be getting ready to pay some people come, weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4 when they show it one more time to solidify, yep, you deserve the bag. Let's get this done before the season ends and move on.
I can see that. I agree.
Chandler Zavala played all 1,080 college snaps at left guard.
Wow, like that.
He is our draft pick. Because
I would like to move him to right guard, but I think we can make do. I think he can handle it. You know what I mean? But he'll be a good backup if Jonah gets injured. It'll just be a great pick. I like Zavala.
Sure. Last pick
of the draft, Mr. Detroit Lions irrelevant.
Is it going to be a quarterback? Is it going to be a
kicker? Stop trying to suggest this fucking quarterback, boys. I can't do it.
Malik Cunningham.
Max
Dugan. The guy I wouldn't be opposed.
Oh.
I watched one Louisville game.
My Bob Quinn baseball bat out here and start rubbing it as we draft. You know what I mean? All right.
And the dude was pretty good. I mean, he was a mobile quarterback. A little inaccurate, but he kind of gives me like Tyrod Taylor, like backup mobile quarterback vibes. And if we're looking this late, I wouldn't.
That's a better pick than Max Duggan.
What was saying Max Duggan? I was saying Malik Cunningham.
Oh, even worse. It's someone that can make it to the playoffs with a B-rated team. You know what I mean?
Actually, no, I redact all of what I just said, and I absolutely want to take Dorian Robinson, Thompson, DRT or DTR, one of the two. I always get it mixed up. But the UCLA quarterback played very well this year. Kind of came out of nowhere, led a UCLA football team. I mean, we all know UCLA football as of now, not the best. But if you look at his stats, played well at Washington, Utah, and Arizona State. Arizona State's not the best comparison, but Washington, Utah, solid teams. And, he's a mobile quarterback. I have been big on my mobile quarterbacks. It's Anthony Richardson, Hendon Hooker, Malik Cunningham, Dorian Thompson, Robinson. Let's go get him. Last pick of the draft. Why not?
Man, I'm so excited to listen to last year's show. I want to go back and listen to this show next year.
This show is going to be good.
We bring up a lot of names, and I'm very fun. My personal pick would be Keaton Mitchell, but Julius makes the final decision.
Pull up the running backs. I'm curious.
Pull up the running backs, Julius. Do it now.
The running backs.
The running backs.
Okay, so
look, Hunter Luepke.
Oh, we love Hunter Luepke. Why do they list him as
the best tight end in America the last 3 seasons? I mean, fullback. Let me stop.
Yeah. I mean, what is it? Just a power back? I guess we got Kabinda. Might as well get him as a
super back. Kabinda could mentor him.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. Lou Nichols. Oh, I'm drafting Lou Nichols. I forgot he was out here. Give me old Lou.
I'm honestly pretty confident we're gonna sign him as an undrafted free agent.
God, like who was
the
who
juggler,
was the wide receiver we had last year
the
from
juggler, who went to New York, right?
We don't know anybody's name, so why you trying?
It's not like we run a podcast for the Detroit Lions and have been doing it for 3+ years. Don't worry.
We know no one.
It was like, it was Pimpleton. It was Khalil.
Pimpleton, the juggler,
exactly what it was.
Yeah, he was from Central as well. And hey, Central, they had J.J. Watt, Antonio Brown,
Dan Lefevre.
Dan Lefevre
is one of, at least when it happened, one of 2 quarterbacks to ever rush for 20 rushing touchdowns and pass for 20 passing touchdowns in the same year. It was Tim Tebow and Dan Lefevre did it the same year. Tim Tebow won the Heisman. Lefevre never even got high.
Didn't Lefevre take Central to like the Sugar Bowl that year or something?
I think so, and they made a sweet ass comeback win for it. I believe
either that or that was Cooper Rush.
What?
Wasn't Antonio Brown on that team?
Yeah, I think so. And then Cooper Rush came, and he did really good with them, and now he's obviously just got an extension in Dallas. I like Central boys. I like Thomas Incoom, edge rusher, and I like Lou Nichols, running back.
They're like Central just brings in like boys that want you want to play football, come play. That's all we care about is your football.
That's the same thing with like the Iowa boys. You know what I mean? That's why we just love to get them football.
Ronnie Bell, love him as an.
We're not getting the third receiver, Adam. Come on.
I know that Brad Holmes is not going to draft a kicker. I'm not going to say
Justin Norton's still there, or not Justin Norton. Jesus Christ, what's his name? Justin Foster, from wide receiver from Miami. Justin Shorter, that's his name. God damn it.
Shorter from Florida.
He's a great wide receiver, guys. We don't need him right now, but I'm just saying, keep your eye on him.
Yeah, we drafted 2 wide receivers. Let's
not. No. I want Justin Taller.
Adam, get up on. We need you at the Improv in Chicago with that kind of stuff right there.
That's hilarious. That is.
All right, pick someone, Julius.
All right,
we gave you 2 names, didn't we?
I'm going Keaton Mitchell. I think he's dynamic, and he's the 3rd round value, and we're in the 6th round. So
get him, rock and roll.
I agree, because I did want a running back at some point. A couple guys that just passed by. Devin Akay, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Akay. Israel, and another hard last name. Abadandike. I don't know, something. But the running back from Pittsburgh.
What happened to the Steve Smiths of the day? You know what I mean?
The Jerome Bettis.
Even that was probably funky at first. They were like, "What the hell is this guy's name?"
Marshall.
Let's just call him the Bus. Let's just call him the Bus. That's way.
It all started with the LaDainian Tomlinsons of the world.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
DeAndre Swift is a great running back name, though.
That's very true.
So is David Montgomery, though. That's also a great running back name.
Yeah. I like it. All right, we finalizing Keontae Mitchell. Tajay Spears, that was the other running back I wanted. That I would not be opposed if Brad Holmes wanted to take him as well. RB out of Tulane.
Keaton Mitchell's PFF analysis. He is so dynamic that it would be unfair for the viewing audience to not give him a few touches per game. At his size, though, a move to receiver may be in the cards.
So he's just to be 5'8". He's a small running back who's going to be able to pass catch out of the backfield. We like that. We got our David Montgomery.
Let's see what PFF grades it out as, guys.
I'm quite interested. Our double receiver is probably gonna hit
a little skew into the algorithm, but that's all right.
Quick, pause it and trade up. There's someone I want, Jake Moody. Who they didn't like the Jaden Reed pick.
B+, guys.
All right.
They thought we reached on Jaden Reed.
And Keanu Benton.
And Keanu Benton.
Our best pick.
And Deontay Banks to a certain extent.
Keaton Mitchell, best pick of the draft. Way to go, boys.
Our late round draft was just amazing. That's what gave us a B+.
Also, Julius, I think you clicked the wrong wide receiver. Did we go Jalen Monroe?
Oh, wait, no. Who are we supposed to get?
Bryce Ford Wheaton.
Bryce Ford Wheaton. Well, sometimes
he got
the wrong card on accident.
I made the wrong pick.
You're
lying. The Jalen Marino Cropper.
See, now when this dude
Jalen Marino Crapper. Wait a minute. What's this?
I've never even heard of this guy.
I've never heard of Crapper either.
Hey, PFF gave us an 8 for the
A
pick.
solid 8.
It's a solid crapping pick right there, guys. Good job.
Hey, but look, if the draft goes these first 4 picks for Lions, here on a serious note, Tyree Wilson, just straight, we're adding to every level of the defense.
Right.
And, I'll be pretty happy with it. I'm not going to lie.
I'll be ecstatic. If we go first 4 picks defense, I'll be so happy. I just don't need any craziness. I don't need it. I don't want it. Give me defense.
Yep.
But also, we probably should draft a quarterback because we're going to have to pay all these guys. And as we were saying that just a few minutes ago, I realized Jared Goff cannot be paid anymore. We have to get a quarterback. And if we don't do it now, are we going to do it at pick 32
We should have
next
took
year?
Anthony Richardson, Nick. We should have took Anthony. Hey, listen.
Restart it. Can we restart this?
Hey, listen, there's 2 weeks before draft. We could still get the week before or the couple days before. We can jump back on here and do this again.
Oh, yeah. We'll definitely. Yeah. We'll have some fun. We got a lot to talk about.
Well, boys, that concludes the first, maybe of many. I don't know. I will probably, draft's kind of sneaking up pretty fast. But we'll do another draft episode, that's for sure. I see it. Where's my damn flag? And I dropped it, but I'll get it in a second. We will do another draft episode coming up around draft time. We might even go live for the draft for those first 6 picks because it could get pretty suspenseful, especially if there's a quarterback or 2 left on the board come pick 6 and the Lions are fielding trade offers, because that's always a fun. And then even if not, it'll just be interesting because last year we kind of knew Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson. This year there's like 3, 4, 5 guys maybe that we could see being taken at this pick number 6 spot or even a slight trade back. So a lot more can happen with this first pick. And it's not just that. We got pick 18 as well, but we probably won't be streaming for the full 18 picks. That might take a little long time. As you know, the NFL draft likes to take every minute, second, extra minute, slow walk out there they could possibly do to, make sure they get the right guys. But as always, thanks for joining in. You can check us out individually. Myself at Everyday FFB, Julius at The Fifth Top, Nick at Nick Faber NFL. And as always, check out the Honolulu Blues at Honolulu Blues _ on Twitter and on Instagram. And if you're feeling frisky and fun, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube or wherever you were watching. So as always, boys, oh, here's my stick. It was sitting on the ground. Go